Alrighty, so I've decided to add 2 more patterns I'm going to be testing myself with for this project. That is, I'm going to make a frog and another kind of bird that has an action motion to it. I'll explain the details of what those mean when I get to them. But let's get started. I'm going to time myself for this frog. The first take I did not. That's why the creases already were made a little bit, but that shouldn't make a huge difference. Alrighty, and go. So a little bit of history of how I got into this skill. When I was in the 5th grade, my brother had one of his friends from school over, and she showed me how to make a crane. And I spent a lot of time actually looking at the crane that she had made after she had, left. And I kept trying to almost reverse engineer it because I was too young to look things up on the internet by myself. But eventually my parents helped me out, and I spent the next 2 weeks looking at YouTube videos, and eventually over the next 3 years of my life I collected many books and other things that different kinds of paper and such that I used. It was really a hobby of mine for a majority of my life, and then once I hit about freshman year of high school, I stopped completely because I didn't have the time anymore. So this is the first time I'm doing this a couple years now. I'm doing everything purely off my memory right now. Sorry if I'm talking slow, but I have to focus on some of these. My goal with this project is I want to get back to where I was when I quote peaked in my skill level, and that was I was able to it was my party trick throughout all of middle school. I was able to just make a crane and all these other designs that I'm making right now blindfolded in a certain period of time. I haven't really defined what time I'm going to yet. I want to see what I get on these first trials in terms of time, just so that I have a baseline before I set a goal for how much I want to drop. But hopefully I'll be able to do it. So in terms of the Fit and Posner procedural memory, I was definitely at autonomous at one point during my life, but I'd say right now I'm at the associative stage where I don't need to be reading the instructions like I used to, but I can't quite get the precision that I used to have. I've grown a significant amount. When I first started doing this, my hands were much smaller. It made doing this a lot easier, but it shouldn't be that hard to get back into it. Whoops. One of the real big challenges I'm gonna have while I'm doing this is, as you can see right now, I'm trying to get this really tiny crease, and I'm struggling a bit just because my thumbs are much bigger than they used to be. Even when I was younger, I didn't make this design as much because it honestly takes longer than most of my other ones because of the attention to detail you have to pay. And who knows, maybe I'll add another, I'll find a new design, go back home, find one of my pattern books, and maybe I'll be able to add something to my collection of things that I can make out of paper. Sorry if the lighting is a little off. Doing my best in the dorms. Alrighty, so I'm gonna flip this one up. It's funny, as I do this, I keep on remembering all of the terms for the different kinds of folds that you do as I'm doing this. For instance, this, actually, I don't remember what this one was called. But you'll notice here, for instance, because I didn't get that earlier crease I was talking about, super flat, it makes it kind of rigid and hard to fold, and honestly it just doesn't look as nice as the other one, as if I got it right from the start. And I'm just gonna fold that down there. Fold that down there. And as soon as I fold, crease up here. And there you go. Oh, nope. There you go. Stop. Alright, so that was 6 minutes and 42 seconds to get the standard, very basic origami frog. On a scale of 1 to 10 in terms of precision, I would honestly rate this pretty low. The legs down here are not, the folds are not very defined. I sort of crimpled them down because the earlier folds were not sharp enough. Yeah, so there's that design. And then let's reset the clock, and this one shouldn't take as long. This one is what used to be referred to as an action piece, meaning that it has a motion to it. Sort of like if you ever hear people who make origami, they have like birds that flap their wings. Well, this is a bird that flaps his wings. It's actually funny, I remember when I was making this, when I first learned how to do it, this particular bird, I found it in this very, very old book in my library, and I've yet to this day, I've yet to see anyone else make this bird, or to see the pattern in any other book. Another thing that, another factor I have to take in is right now I'm using just loose leaf paper that I cut into squares. Normally I have very special, very thin paper. Maybe I'll pick some up for this project. That's specialized for origami paper, and they come in all different kinds of designs and things like that. And I just realized that I stopped. I did not start the timer, so I'm gonna have to look back at the video, and I'll put a little annotation in on how long start to finish this bird took me. Shouldn't be too hard. It's YouTube. Fold up. And there you go. And I'm gonna call time on that one. So I'll try and include how much time that took me. Either if I can't manage to get it on the video, I'll put it on in the description below. But this is the bird, and the action is you simply hold it here and pull the tail and the wing slap. And yeah, so this is the end of my first vlog. This is the supplemental vlog. The other two videos, I'll include the time it took me to make those in the description below this one, and then eventually put it all in the graph. Alright, thank you very much. See you next time.